Welcome to Tokyosaurus. So what's up in Japan? Remember what you used to read when you were a kid? That's right, you didn't read. But that's okay because books are boring. But not in Japan. This book called Oshiri Tante, or Butt Detective, has broken records left and right. And its series of 6 picture books has sold over 1.5 million copies in print already since coming out in 2012. Pretty impressive in this day and age. But it's gotten so big in fact that Toei, the creators of Dragon Ball Super, has decided to make an anime out of it, and sparing no expenses at it when it comes to hiring big-time voice actors like Boruto's voice from Boruto and Reigen's voice from Mob Psycho, just to name a few. But what in the world is Butt Detective about? Being able to capture the hearts and shelf space of millions of people in Japan. Well, let's start with Butt Detective himself. He's a detective with a butt as his face instead of a regular face. So how does he breathe? Exactly how you think he does. And he's not just any regular old detective. And despite appearances, he definitely does not have butt for brains. Think Sherlock Holmes, smart, intelligent, intense, but with a butt as a face, with all the sophistication of an English gentleman from the back then times. At first glance, you may think that this is just a book of butt gags. And I am not saying that it is not that, because there are definitely a lot of butt jokes in Butt Detective. One of his favorite lines is, "I smell trouble." And when he's in trouble, he will not hesitate to cut a good one right from his face. Not only does he have the smarts of Sherlock Holmes, but he also has a superpower. Not even fair. But if you actually read it or watch it later, you will realize this book actually takes itself pretty seriously, especially for a book geared towards kids with full-blown investigations that guides the readers through examining evidence and identifying witnesses to solve the crime, just like a Sherlock Holmes story. But the best part of it all is that in this world, Butt Detective, even with a butt as his face, even as he uses it as a weapon sometimes, nobody bats an eye to the fact that he has a butt for face. Nobody makes fun of him. There is nothing unusual about him having a butt as a face. The fact that he is different is normal, as all the other characters in the book are different animals, which actually reminds me a lot of the cast from Animal Crossing. But who is Sherlock Holmes without a rival? The rival in Butt Detective seems to be a Lupin-like character who wears a poop-shaped mask while dressed like Tuxedo Mask. And just like Lupin, he has a lot of tricks and illusions up his sleeve, like this one, raining poop down from the skies. A lot of the charm comes from the art, where it looks very much like something out of a picture book for 4-year-olds, which is contrasted heavily by a main character that will definitely not pass the gates into an elementary school library in the West. But thankfully, this book was released in Japan, and has almost become a classic, and thus will probably be enshrined eventually as part of the greatest children's literature of this generation down the road. In Japan at least. But back to the anime. It will be available on Toei's official YouTube channel and YouTube Kids app, so you know where this is all going. Anyways, what do you guys think of Butt Detective? As usual, let me know down in the comments below. Thumbs up the video if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe and turn on notifications for the latest things people are talking about in Japan. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.